Do you think these are harmful?
And just kind of like puts some type of hindrance or like a glass ceiling on their personalities, because it's just like, well, if I act out on this, like, they're gonna call me this stereotypes.
And for men, I think it's harmful because men have emotions because they're human beings. So it's like kind of horrible to be like, hey, don't like think anything.
People who kind of adopt ideas of masculinity and femininity who are like of the opposite gender might feel like they're out of place, even though that's not really the case at all.
With any stereotypes or whenever they assume that people need to fit a certain way or look a certain way, that these things can be harmful just because people don't normally associate with them.
Yes, I think that they are, because I feel like a lot of if people get lost in all these stereotypes, and they actually won't have as much free will as they say for example, you know, people think that women are always more accepting and gentle and stuff. That will make women feel more obligated to act as so.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's okay to like identify some of that stuff.
Yeah, they can definitely be a little bit harmful for those who really don't think they fit into those, and then they feel like they're like they're doing something wrong when they're really not.
I think I like hold some biases toward like men in professional settings and stuff, and I don't really like that about myself. But overall, I don't think they've been hugely negative because I've tried to be exposed to like breaking those, I guess.
Oh, definitely. It's bad to have that stigma, especially for kids growing up. They should have the image of wanting to be whatever they want to be and not being afraid that not being a gender will hold them back from having the career they want to have or being who they want to be.
And do you think stereotypes affect rape culture?
I think so, yeah. I think a lot. I mean, there's people on personal makeups that like contribute to rape culture.
I think anything to do with where women are devalued and where men are placed, I guess in a sense of power, they tend to have an increase in the idea that they can take control over another person's life.
Yeah, so I think definitely the women are complicated in the way that they don't know what they want, that they're only not giving consent because they're playing a game or blah, blah. I feel like that's a big stereotype that's like definitely still in the minds of lots of college men. Like they don't know what they really want, like they're just playing with me.
Yeah, totally. I think there's like this overwhelming idea that like guys are the powerful ones, like they hold a lot of power, and when you're like, if you tell someone that they have power, they're going to like act accordingly.
I guess that could, because I mean, just by the stereotypes I said, that would make girls seem more vulnerable.
It's like that idea of like sexual conquest being a big part of men's experiences growing up, and then that just translates into like the way they treat women.
Oh, for sure. As I mentioned briefly, like the masculine idea of like being with multiple women and how like somehow you achieve status by having slept with more women definitely feeds into that. Because again, to get more women, they might not be as willing as you would want, but they're like, man, I just really need to rack up this point, so I'm gonna go ahead and make it happen whether she wants it to or not. And that can definitely be something that leads to it.
The physical strength, I think, more leads to an ability to like physically dominate people, and like sometimes an expectation even that that's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, wait, yes, definitely. Now, especially for college students, I think the careers isn't a huge contributing factor, but the idea that girls who wear revealing shirts are slutty and want to have sex.
Yes, in the sense that why girls wouldn't like speak out on it is the only, like, the one main example I could say, because like I did have a friend who like was sexually assaulted before, and like the first thing she said is just like, well, I kind of was asking for it, and they just like, she was just like, well, I put myself in that situation. I guess the stereotypes of like, oh, if like you're a girl and you have like a lot of guy friends, like you're obviously like screwing them or something like that, and that like in rape culture it's just like the girls like feel like automatically, instinctively just feel that they're to blame for the situation because of these stereotypes that we have here, like, oh, like if a girl dresses this way, like she's asking for it, and then like, yeah.
And do you think feminism changes the amount of pressure we as a society put on traditional masculinity? Or the need to be traditionally masculine?
Yeah, absolutely. Since learning a lot more about feminism, I have become a lot more comfortable with a lot of the more feminine aspects of my personality, and I felt less pressure within myself to be like this super masculine person.
Yeah, I think so. I think traditional masculinity is kind of built on the idea of power and having power over another person, and I think feminism kind of challenges that.
100%. I think feminism is about challenging the idea of what society has created to be masculine and what a masculine guy is supposed to look like.
It should. It's equality, so feminism can go back both ways, and equality should go both ways. Yeah, men shouldn't feel if a man doesn't want to work and wants to stay home with kids, then that's great. They don't have to be the money maker in the family, and it's the same for the women if they want to go to work, and they shouldn't have to stay home, which is what a lot of people think.
I generally hope that like if people became more feminism, like guys wouldn't feel like the pressure to like be so like uppity and like rigid.
Yeah, I think feminism is supporting freedom and breaking free of those traditions. Not traditions, but stereotypes and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Again, just going back to the whole, yeah, I mean, I stand up for women and, oh, I'm gay, blah, blah. People look at me differently or treat me differently because I don't fit this standard idea of what it is to be like a dude or anything like that. Like, again, I'm very comfortable knowing that I'm straight and like a dude, but people are like, men are very constantly like berating me like, oh, you're not, manly enough or whatever, and that's just